Norbert's is having a sale on their August special. It's the curved step. Is it a step? Is it a slide? Can you also use it for diagonal drills? Yes, it's all of those things, and it's 10% off. Norbert's will be at the trade shows for Region 1 and GAT. Check out their pre-order list for deals in your region at Congress. Go to norberts.com for 10% discount on anything with the code GymCastic. Norbert's is also giving away a $50 gift card that can be used in anything in their online store, no minimum. Just follow Norbert's Athletic on Instagram and like and comment on the giveaway post. Good luck. Tumble Track. This month, Tumble Track has 15% off their summer blowout sale, which includes 5% off carpet bonded foam as part of their sale. Some of the air products are in the blowout sale. Visit Tumble Track at TUMBLTRAK tumbletrack.com. Train smart. Today, the show is PG-13 because we will definitely have a naughty word or two. Welcome to our coverage from the Paris Olympic Games. Nemour is Nemour is the new Olympic bars champion. Carlos Yulo is your vault Olympic champion. Liu Young is your rings Olympic champion. Today is August 4th. We're coming to you live from Paris, France. Welcome to the #1 gymnastics podcast in the galaxy. I'm Jessica, and I'm here with Spencer from the Balance Beam Situation. If you're a Club Gym member, switch over to your members only feed for the full episode with the bonus stuff, because I have a lot to tell you. And instructions are in the show notes. Let's start talking about bars. Bars.
Yes. We have our Olympic champion, Kaliya Nemour, favorite coming in, but had to hit. Qiu Qiyuan of China, also second favorite, co-favorite coming in, had to hit, got the silver. Suni Lee, the bronze. It was the tale of two finals, the first half and the second half, because you guys, the first half of this final, when Zhang fell and Becky fell, and then Alice's score was lower than Nina's score for reasons that I don't quite understand. And I was like, I was like, hello, police, the bars final is broken.
A crime has been committed in eScores. Someone make an arrest. That's how I felt about it.
But then we had the in between, we had the halfway touch warm up, and everything was just settled in, and it was righted. Qiu Qiyuan hit her routine after having some misses in her last two times. She came through. She hit her full difficulty. She did what she wanted to do. She hit her routine. Kaliya Nemour hit her routine. And then Suni Lee coming up in the last spot. Pressure situation, had to beat a 14.766 from Nina in order to medal. She did a very clean routine, but the concern for Suni was whether she had enough D to get into the bronze medal position, because she did her not be able to bardwage, which is kind of a game time decision, like in routine decision, whether she's going to be able to connect that to the Van Leeuwen. She did not today. So that was, 2/10 of potential D that she didn't have. She could have a 6.6. She did the 6.4. So that was the question when you were waiting for her score. It was like, okay, the execution was definitely bronze, but did she have enough difficulty? It ended up being just enough with a 14.8 to get the bronze medal.
Yep. And just the question was asked if she thought about doing the Jaeger full, and she said she did bring it up to her coach and was like, should I do it? And he was like, well, yeah. She's like, should I just throw it? And he was like, well, you could just throw it, but like, you probably want to win a medal, right?
What is more important?
She should go for clean winning instead of trying to chuck it in there.
Suni, there's always that World Challenge Cup in Hungary.
That's right.
This fall.
You can still do it.
Stick around. You want to train for a few more months? Does that sound fun?
And there's always just going to Jakarta, and you could be the world champion. So also not Carlos Gosling, Ryan Gosling was the famous in the stands.
Ryan Gosling was here. Jessica's heartthrob Carlos Yulo won the vault title. It's easy to get those confused. Yes.
It's so huge for the Philippines, for Filipino Americans, for Filipinos around the world. Having not one Olympic gold medalist in gymnastics, but he won 2 medals in 2 days and back-to-back gold medals. Like, people talk about how hard this is and how long it is, and he's been in all the meets. Carlos Yulo is good. He's like Simone. He's in all the finals. This is like the one final Simone has missed bars in years and years. But yeah, he's He's amazing. So, but I want to, before we get to Carlos and just talk about Carlos.
Yeah. We need
Um,
to talk about the bars final. We need to talk about our champion, Kaliya Nemour. You were very worried because she fell in the warm up.
she fell in the warm up and she looked stressed. Like she never looks stressed because she always just has like, this is my job. I don't react to anything. I just do 7 hit bar routines in a row.
Mhm.
But she looked stressed after she fell. And then before bars, she was like tapping her foot furiously. And I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no. I've never seen her like this. But then she freaking hit. She did all the things. Yeah. So let's just remember what it took to get here. Like she had the big fight between the French Federation and her home club where her mom is part of the club. She lives right next to the club and her coaches. She didn't want to move to a different, one of the 3 places that she could train the French national team sites. There's also talk about, the coaching style. The federation didn't like it. They wanted her to be monitored and be taken care of. She's had 2 surgeries, and yet she persisted, stayed where she wanted to stay. And to do that, she had to change federations to Algeria. And now, instead of France having and I'm not taking sides on this, let me just say, I really don't have a side in
There
this.
are layers.
There are many layers. It is an onion, a deep, deep, deep onion. But instead of France having a gold medal, Africa, the continent of Africa, has its first gymnastics
And the
medal.
country of Algeria.
And the country of Algeria has their first Olympic medal and in gymnastics, and it happens to be gold. So the continent won its first medal, and Algeria got its first medal.
And I think in general with Kaliya, it's like you're happy for her to be able to do her gymnastics, like notwithstanding the stuff with the federation and the coach and the club and all of that that's not her. It's like she was the one who did the gymnastics, and the mess is everybody else is kind of what I feel like with Kaliya Nemour. Like she did it.
Yep. And it's such a great routine. I mean, it's one of those routines that I just feel like it's just so exciting every time she connects the next thing to the next thing. Like I think back to the days when like Memel was doing like 4 connected skills in a row. We're like 4 connected skills. Oh my God. Like all the message boards were freaking out and we were so excited. And now Kaliya Nemour's like, kips? I've never heard of them. What are those?
She understood the assignment that the one thing you can't do in a bars routine is kips.
Yeah.
So that's why there are always questions about her E-score because it was the highest in the final, I think. And there are form breaks that you see, especially on our feed, on the world feed, where you see like the leg separation and the double layout and the feet and the leg break. And it's like, how does she get an execution score that's this high? And it's like, because she doesn't do any cast handstands. Basically.
Yep. Just don't do a kip.
And because her deductions, and this is, I think, significant compared to Qiu Qiyuan, her deductions are very apparent if you're watching from our angle, the head-on broadcast angle, and much less apparent from the judge's side angle, like the leg separation and the double layout and things like that. Like her deductions are the subtle ones.
Yep.
The cover-up ones.
Yeah, and she just seems absolutely thrilled. Like it's the most emotion I've seen from her, which is when you can see like how much pressure she's been under and the expectation because she is like so amazing and can absolutely do this and has been the favorite and her D score is so enormously higher and her execution is good too. Qiu Qiyuan, defending world champion in the purple, came in with the purple. And this is the thing I
color of royalty.
Yeah, purple is for royalty. I heard that in the training gym before they walked out, like she was just falling and falling and falling. So the fact that she hit her routine when she needed to, did that laid out Jaeger, clean. She was so close to the bar that she did a flex her feet, not to hit the bar.
Yeah.
But
it was I'm going to be safer on these releases kind of routine. Yes. Like I'm going to be a little close and that's fine because I hit my 7-2 and I got an Olympic silver medal. I did it.
Yep. Yeah, I just love watching it. So she had a 7-2 D.
Yeah, she did her 7-2 as well.
Yeah.
7-2, Jessica. 2 people with 7-2 D scores in the Olympic bars final.
Who thought we would see this from 2 different people? And also just to put in perspective, so if they both got perfect E scores, it would be a 17.2 score. I know it's not possible.
It would be like Nastia in 2008 level score.
Right. It's nuts.
It's just for comparison of the difference in 3 years. So Nina won Olympic gold in Tokyo with a 6-7, and that was like, dear Lord, she has a 6-7. No one's going to catch her. And then Suni's bronze with a 6-2, which was not her intended routine, and that was a crazy final. And I thought we were going to have another crazy Olympic bars final today after the first half. But, your medalists last time were 6-7, 6-3, 6-2 in D score, and this time it's 7-2, 7-2, 6-4.
I also just love these. I mean, this is why I love these finals so much, because you get to watch the best on every event, one after the other, after the other, after the other. Like it is.
That is what an event final is.
It's so fun. You don't have to. What I'm saying, Spencer, is you don't have to watch like people that are like, oh, this is nice. They made it to the Olympics. Like this is great for their country and all that stuff. It's just like, who's freaking nuts on this event, one after the other, after the other. Like it's the best. If everybody could just hype the event finals more, because it's the best competition of them all, I would just really appreciate it.
I did like today we weren't spending as much time with these medal ceremonies in between. We worked on the pacing was better.
But tomorrow it's going back to that. I don't know. I don't understand.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't want to see people get medals. I want to watch gymnastics and then go back to sleep. Don't they understand?
Unless
I don't want to hear you cry and listen to a song.
Unless there's an attack bee or just a bee living its life and a terrified teenager. Yeah. Or 20-year-old. So Suni Lee, the Tokyo all-around Olympic champion.
Yes.
Let's go through it. She felt like imposter syndrome for some reason, being the Olympic champion, even though she was and totally earned it. She talked about that. Then she had her one kidney disease, and then she was really sick, and she gained 40 pounds in water weight. And then they found the second kidney disease, and then she was super depressed, and her coach talked about walking to her apartment and it just being trashed, and her just saying she was rotting in bed. And then she's finally in remission. Her doctors are like, you're cleared to fully train, because she couldn't really. Her hands kept swelling up. Unexpectedly, she had a super restricted diet. Her coach had to carry around the air fryer gate. And now
there was no gate. There was no air fryer gate. That was just an air fryer.
It was just hashtag air fryer. Okay. But then she has made it not only back to the Olympic team, not only to Olympic trials, to the Olympic team, became an all-around medalist again, team gold medalist, and then made it to the bars final and medaled again on bars after all that. And I am good with this. Where she plays.
Good with it. And I'm good with it.
And I personally, because her bars are so clean, even though this isn't the hardest D she could possibly do, she is really clean, and we always want better execution to win over insane D with helicopter legs.
Well, I mean, I would say insane D won today because 7-2, but Suni got the bronze, and I think a very clean and worthy bronze medal for Suni.
But of the big Ds, the two cleanest big Ds were in the top, right?
Well, I'm totally fine with this podium. I'm totally happy and content with this podium.
Well,
I was not. Do you have Qiu over Nemour? Is that what
I don't have Qiu over Nemour, but I do have Suni and D'Amato tied.
Okay, Jessica needed to get a tie in there. Or do we need to talk about why we were both kind of like, wait, Nina's ahead of D'Amato?
I was shocked, Spencer. I was like looking around like, why aren't people throwing things? Why isn't there a riot like the whole thing with Nemov and his high bar routine? Like, who's paying attention to this? And you weren't there for me to grab you and then not grab you and apologize.
Yeah. I mean, we did have a thigh grab in event finals today, an important thigh grab, which we will get to, but it was not Jessica on other people. It was in the competition. But yes, I think with D'Amato, I will say, I think her final front giant full in L grip was very past. And I do think that may have contributed to things. But I did think overall, in terms of toe point, in terms of execution, I would have liked to see her E score separated from Nina's a little bit more. Though Nina hit a very solid routine, a good, did her difficulty, did exactly what she came to do. A really good routine, just like, flexed feet police over here had some issues.
Flex feet police, as in the most important part of gymnastics, that's supposed to be made to look easy, FYI men's floor. But D'Amato, I was like, oh my God, she destroyed. She hit. Like, this is one of the best routines she's ever done. Tiny hop on the landing, but otherwise it's so beautiful. And like, I know she gets the deduction for the adjusted grip position. You know, when she goes on high bar, she hops to the side. It's like 0.1. But I still was like, yeah, I'd rather see her 0.1 so she can like Higgins roll all over the bar than all the feet. And like Nina usually has very good form, but you know, it doesn't look like she's had enough time to get back to the form that she had at the past Olympics and World Championships from her shoulder dislocation just a year ago. So I want to make sure I acknowledge how amazing it is that she made it back and how amazing the work she's done in rehab to make it
feeling like a person should have been 5th instead of 4th is not a criticism of their character, is what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. Just making the point.
I did like the close-ups of Nina after Nemour went and after Qiu went and their scores were ahead of her, because it was very like, you want like some reaction, like I'm devastated. I know what gymnastics is. I know they have higher T scores than me. I knew those routines were going to be ahead of me. Like, guys, come on.
Yeah.
But really, the judging at these, with back to D'Amato, judging at these Olympics is her Marvel origin story, because consistently she has been behind when she's like, oh, better execution. So I feel like multiple times with her placements here, she's going to be like either a superhero or supervillain. It's unclear where this goes, but it's an origin story for something.
Is it the origin story of she's going to come back learning like a Kovac or something? Like, is that what it's going to be? Or is it going to be that she comes back as like, it's the Nelly Kim origin story for, she's going to come back as the women's technical committee head and take over for,
and be like, eliminate the adjusted grip position deduction and then name the front giant full in L grip after herself. Yeah, I would be fine with that.
I just feel like she's like in an Anna Pavlova situation here several times at this Olympics. And I'm like, but do you see her form? Her form.
Yeah, I think it's a very good parallel. She is the Anna Pavlova of these Olympics.
Her form. Shout out to Kevrich because she made the bar final and she placed 6th, with this huge after her highest placing German finish since reunification, since there was in East and West Germany. So she should be very pleased with herself.
Yeah, very strong.
She also was very like, I'm at work. Oh, there's an audience. She like gets in the bar, does a routine, barely salutes, gets her stuff, leaves. She's just like, I'm
also that about Nina. And maybe this is why I think this is why I was questioning more than the form, because Nina had a hop back on her dismount and then kind of did not show control after hop back before she college saluted. And I was like, if this were an NCAA meet, I would have some issues about the 9.9 you just got. I would feel like that should have been a 9.75. She did not show control. So that was also, I was like, was that taken into account?
I ran into Becky Downey on my way down to the mix zone.
Okay.
And
how is Becky?
She's doing okay. You know, she's bummed because she's like, I have not fallen on that the entire time I've been here. Like, I haven't had a problem with that school. Like, you know, she's bummed because she's a competitor. That's why she's good. That's why she made it to her 3rd Olympic Games in 6 cycles. Like, she's incredible. But I reminded her, I was just like, you hit for the team. Every time the team needed you, you hit for them. Not just here and not just in prelims, not just in finals, but also at Euros.
Final?
She did hit for them.
I know, but you prioritizing the team.
I know, it's horrible, but I needed to help her see that, like, she's a hero. God damn it. I was like, Becky, you're a hero. But I was like, I'm going to remind you of this. You hit for the team. Like, and I was like, I know this sucks, but like, you made it here and you freaking went for it. You know, like, pusillanimists will never be heroes. And she is the, you know, I also think I might have broken her headphones when I gave her a hug because I squeezed her so hard. So, but I'm sure they're durable. Yesterday, did you see what she posted on her Instagram? It was like a picture of something, and it was like from your agent for Becky, and she posted it. I was like, I could not tell what it was, and I was like, is that a tiny toilet or like a tiny? What is that thing? She was like, they're Beats headphones, and I was like, oh my god! And now I broke, but she said they're fine. So anyway, but in case you were wondering if I did some, you know, broke something or tripped or, you know, did something embarrassing, just It was
Sure.
me
Of course you
just
did.
trying to make
Of
people
course you
feel
did.
better. But it was nice. She was there with her sister and her mom, and we had a nice chat. So I just think she's amazing still. So I will.
The question is, what was Becky's D score? It was 6.5. Do you think if Becky had hit, she would have had bronze? If she had stayed
Yes.
on? Because I kind of do.
Yeah.
I think if she had hit full difficulty, stayed on, hit her intended routine, I think she would have had bronze.
Yep. This is her first Olympic bar final,
which is crazy.
which is crazy. I was like, wait a minute, but you're Becky Downey.
Have you been in all of them?
Haven't
What
you
kind of idiot wouldn't put you on an Olympic team?
Oh my god. Yeah. I just enjoyed watching her so much. I wanted to get to some do you have anything else about bars that you need to get off your chest besides
Maybe, but we'll see. Not
Okay.
urgently.
All right. I feel like I was able to adequately express my outrage at
Yeah.
the e-scores between D'Amato and Durwell. So people are asking about quotes from yesterday after the vault final from Simone from that press conference. So a couple of them I have pulled for you, Spencer, to read here so that I don't put words in Simone's mouth.
Okay. Simone said, Rebecca, she's very, very talented. She's a very powerful gymnast, and she does keep me on my toes, but I love competing with her. It's always an honor. It's so much fun. When Simone was asked if this is the last time we'll see her vault, she said, definitely the Yurchenko double pike. I mean, I kind of nailed that one. So, never say never. The next Olympics is at home, so you just never know. Keeping the options open.
And then
Is this Simone also saying she does not do the double pike unless it's on podium?
Yep.
Yeah.
She was saying, yeah, we don't, because she was asked, like, how stressful is that just mentally to do the double pike? And she's like, oh, well, I don't do it unless we're on podiums. She's like, I'm not insane. I don't do that on the freaking concrete on a mat. So it's not that bad. But
Yeah.
and also when asked about the haters, she said, they're really quiet right now. So that's strange.
That's good news because it means she's not looking. Because there's always dummies. There's always haters. You will find them if you look for them. So the best news is that means she's not looking for them.
This is excellent news. I also love that Reese made a point. Reese, Ireland, Olympic gold medalist.
Ireland.
Reese Ireland. That's his name.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I just post my stuff and then I get off. I don't look at anything on social media. He's like, I put stuff in and I get right out.
Smart.
Yeah. I also want to discuss for a moment. The other thing that happened today is I asked in the press conference after bars, I asked Suni and Nemour about finally getting to meet each other and talk to each other because Suni had said ahead of these Olympics that she was so excited to meet Nemour and that she's like so impressed by her and she's kind of nervous. And they were so adorable, you guys. We'll have the press conference video up later for you because now suddenly we're allowed to put it up when we weren't before. So I will have that question up for you. But yeah, Suni was like, I was kind of nervous to meet her because she's so amazing, but it's kind of hard because we don't speak the same language. But like, I tried to just say words that are like really encouraging to her that she understands. And Nemour said the same thing about Suni, and they were so cute even before the press conference started. Like Nemour kind of was like looking at the press conference stuff, like because there's like this whole system of simultaneous translation, and you have like this little phone and all this stuff. And so she was just sort of looking at everything, and so she looked at Suni for help, and Suni was explaining to her like, this is how it works.
I've been here before.
She's like, let me tell you how simultaneous translation works. Put this in your ear, and you can take it out when you don't want to hear the thing in your ear. And so it was just so sweet, and they were so cute together, and they just like looked at each other and smiled a lot. And it was like, world peace. That's what the Olympics is all about. It's so great. You guys, it just made me so happy. All right. Where are we at? Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention, you guys. Give me some questions if you have questions.
You've changed octave. You have your rage-o-meter voice on now.
I do have thank you for noticing. There's been a lot of press about how this is an equal Olympics and finally is a gender equal Olympics. And it only took 124 years, but we did it. Here we are, a gender equal Olympics. There may be the same number of women and men competing here, but that does not mean it is equal, because there are 530, and this is from the Sports Business Journal. This is a Rachel Axon Paris Olympics gender parity article. Credit to her. 539 possible medals for men compared to the, or for women compared to the 563 for women.
Wait, which is which? Because you said women for both.
Right. So 539 for men. Sorry, 539 for women. 563 for men.
Oh, okay. Now I understand.
Yeah. Not equal, because the medals come with funding and money and other stuff. The US, for example, only pays. Are you ready for how much you get for a gold medal at the Olympics? $37,000. 37,500. So you could pay rent, maybe, and not training, no travel, don't buy any food, no medical costs, don't buy any tampons or air conditioning or
famously,
phone.
tampons cost over $37,000 a year.
I mean, yeah, $37,000 in California is poverty level, I believe, or close to it. So yeah, I mean, this is why it's shocking to people from other countries. It's like, but you work your whole life for
why
this?
we see everyone hawking those meds during the commercials during the Olympics.
You don't have diabetes?
That's weird okay. Medication.
We would ad for it.
Who cares what the side effects are? Get that money.
Oh my God. Yeah, so I just want to make a point of, yes, it's progress, 124 years. But yeah, it is still not equal because medals are not the same. And with that, I want to let everybody know how our coverage here works, which is that we've been doing this for 12 years in September. It will be, Spencer. Every week we do this show. And the headlines during meets like this are for everybody. And then we have extra stuff, behind the scenes stuff that we do for our Club Gym Nerd members, because they're the ones that pay for our trip here. And we have tons of exciting stuff coming up. So I hope that if you've subscribed during the Olympics, you'll continue to stay with us all year, because we have college season coming up where a bunch of these athletes that are competing at the Olympics compete in college every single week. And it's so fun. We have a little party on Friday nights when we pick a meet and we watch together. And then we have a cocktail and mocktail, and then we discuss the meets. And we also have, I'm going to the rehearsals for the Simone's Goat Tour. So I'll be able to tell you all about the Goat Tour when I go and watch it before it launches. Then we have the second half of Simone's documentary on Netflix is coming out. You can listen to our interview with the director. Katie, we have up now. We did that before we left for the Olympics. We have an interview coming up in the fall with Nellie Kim, the Soviet Olympic champion Nellie Kim. She's a vice president of something for the FIG, and she made all the rules. She's very important in the lore, and we're going to talk to her about it. And so, yeah, you have also, if you're a Club Gym member, access to our entire catalog of 12 years of extra stuff. So it's not like from here on out you get access to all the stuff. And many people have joined and listened to all of it. So just know that there's some things we would never say now that we said 10 years ago. Just be aware.
Fair.
So if you haven't got a ticket for the replay of our virtual live show, you can still do that for 2 weeks. And if you need any help, customer service at GymCastic.com. And of course, fact checker and Amy Borman, Simone's first coach. We're going to see Simone maybe tomorrow for maybe the last time. We'll see Simone compete tomorrow. If you want to know how this very, very talented kid who at her, one of her first days of gymnastics practice watched someone do a backflip and said, I could do that, and tried to do it on the high beam. And they had to convince her just to do it on the low beam. Why she made it all this way and didn't quit, and how, like so many other talented elites like her before, there is a book about all the things you want to know about. It's called The Balance. It's pre-sale now on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. And yeah, you can order it now. It tells you all the things you want to know. The crimes, the Carolis, the meets, the behind the scenes, the Steve Pennies. It's all in there. So, but I do have some behind the scenes stories to tell you. And so if you're not a Club Gym member, this is where our journey comes to an end, but we will see you tomorrow back here for Simone's last 2 events. And that's all tomorrow after the last day of Olympic competition from Paris. So we'll see you then. So, Spencer, the close-up heard round the world, Spencer.